like, it's all down to you, it's like a kind of one-man band, whereas you do a movie, it's much more of a collaborative thing with a lot of filmmakers. I mean, no one person can make a movie on their own. It takes, it just takes a big team of people, so it's really kind of assembling that team, and they kind of do become a bit like a family, and it's like any kind of sort of, like a family or a group of friends or whatever, it becomes, everybody has to find a role within that group, and sometimes, depending on the people that are involved, you're going to have very different roles within the group. Sometimes you're going to be quite standoffish and, a peripheral figure. Other times you're going to be quite hands-on, and that's going to change over the whole process of the project. The most important thing to me is always like character and story, and when you're trying to find the voices of the characters, you kind of mix up in the character's culture. And I mean, I've written about people from all over the world. I've written sort of about characters from every place in every country almost, but massively overrepresenting Scotland because that's obviously where I'm from. So it's the first thing I kind of vibe on. And I think it's important to get the kind of, if you like, when you're constructing a character, it's like kind of it's like sort of decorating a room. You've got to try and get the furniture you put in there has got to be right. So that's what that's what you're trying to do with language and culture and kind of expressions and all that, is to get the furniture for that character right. And obviously it's easy for me, much easier for me to write Scottish people because I'm kind of immersed into that furniture, and it doesn't take as long to. You have to pick up the catalogue and go through new things. There are all sorts of reasons why people kind of there's obviously all sorts of reasons why people use drugs. Some of it's for positive reasons, kind of, but celebration, sort of intoxication festival and all that are part of the human psychological landscape. But there's also like kind of escape and desperation, and economically it becomes the only thing. The drug, in certain societies and communities, the drug becomes the most viable way for people who are kind of excluded to make money. That's been interesting. It's interesting how drugs change socially, and they go through different cultures and they're perceived in different ways. So the journey of Crystal Meth in America, to me, has been a very, very interesting one, and it's kind of very much. And drugs tell us what drugs do. Drug cultures tell us stories about ourselves. They tell us stories about our own society. And crystal meth tells a really interesting story about American society, I think. And that's why, being Breaking Bad, obviously, that's why a series like that has been so embraced.